Hello, I'm Cassie,
I'm Esther.
and we're here with TTUHSC News. Today we have an interesting topic of food deserts. So, a food desert is defined as an area where affordable, good quality, fresh foods are unavailable. So, food desert is classified as a grocery store being away from a rural area 10 miles and 1 mile away from an urban area. While this may not seem very far for people that have vehicles, some people have to take alternate transportation, whether it be buses or trains or even walking. So in rural areas, the reasons that they may not have the accessibility is there's not enough people to accommodate a large grocery store. In an urban area, there's not enough space to accommodate a large grocery store. In the state of Texas, we have about 58 counties that are classified as a food desert. And today, Esther will be explaining to us who's affected by food deserts.
Hello. So I will be discussing about how food deserts put some minorities at risk. So in a community, we have people who are already at risk for certain diseases. For example, we have the African Americans who are at risk for diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. Now, food deserts put them even at more risk for this disease. Let's take, for an instance, an African American who cannot afford those those fresh fruits and vegetables, or who cannot get to the store, maybe because of convenience, they resort to a less healthy alternative like the fast foods or the cake stores because they have to eat. And also we have the students, a student who is very busy, let's say a nursing student, we don't really have time to go to the stores because it's far away from where we are residing. We can just grab like a McDonald's or something that is really not healthy, and that increases the risk for some of these diseases like diabetes, hypertension, or other cardiovascular disease. And then we also have the elderly. Now the elderly, they need most of these fruits and the vegetables to keep their organs functioning, because some of their organs are really weak, and they need to have those good calories and healthy foods to keep alive. So they are too weak. Some of them might be too weak, or they cannot drive, or they might rely on other people for transportation, so they cannot really get to the store when they have to. So they resort to either eating a less healthy food which does not meet their needs.
Wow, Esther, that was really interesting.
Thank you, Cassie.
You're welcome.
Okay, and now let's hear from Claire, who's at the vending machine.
Thank you, Cassie and Esther. Hi, I'm Claire, and I'm going to be talking about processed foods related to health, to food deserts. So here in front of me, you can see that all in this vending machine are processed foods, and that is what is mostly available in food deserts. These are known as fringe foods because they're not real. In grocery stores, it's very convenient to buy frozen food, especially in food deserts, because frozen meals are also in gas stations and things like that. But even though there might be fruits and vegetables in your frozen food, the nutrients is lost because of the added sugars and salts that they add to preserve the food. This in turn puts more people at risk for diabetes and other health issues that Esther mentioned. Another thing with food deserts is there might not be a grocery store in your town, but there are fast food restaurants on at least one corner. These are very fatty and greasy foods which are not healthy, and it makes people have more health problems. The prices in these towns at the gas stations and the very small grocery stores that they have are very increased than a normal grocery store that we have in our towns. For example, there's a town in West Texas called Pio, about 15 miles away from the nearest grocery store from either side of it. There's only one convenience store in that town, and prices are very increased. So, like I said before, these are mostly all processed foods, and while they might taste good, eventually they're going to catch up to you. Thank you. And now to Mark for some interventions.
This is Mark with the interventions for Food Desert. One intervention you can do is grow your own produce at home. I know a lot of times people don't have space or room to do that. So you can do community gardens. That gives a great opportunity for those people who have never grown anything to learn, and that way they can take that experience and take that home. You can also do advocate for food pantries for people who live in rural areas. They can come down maybe weekly and bring produce down to the community. And we also can advocate for grocery stores to be placed in a rural area that have fresh produce. A lot of times, the reason why we are in a food pantry is because people don't have access to traveling to get to places that have the produce, the food. So those are some interventions that we can do for the food desert.